Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm going to be working in my October daily, and I wanted to share how beautiful my cover looks. I covered it with pattern paper and it looks awesome. So today I'm going to be working on day 4, 5, and 6. We're going to start with day 4. So I decided to use the prompt Happy Mail for day 4. And I'm going to document this beautiful happy mail that I got from my friend Stephanie. It was just gorgeous. What I thought I would do was create a tag with one of these 3x4 cards that are from the 31 collection. I used the tag dies from scrapbook.com. I love that little die pack. You have all the sizes and I love how it looks. Now I'm going to use the tag to back up my journaling. I'll also add a little bit of embellishing to my journaling, punch a hole, add some twine to make it look more like a tag. So I wanted to add the tag to my photo, but I don't want to take away from my photo. So what I decided to do was to cut a slit through my photo to slide the tag behind it. That way the tag is still a part of the photo, but it's not taking away from the photo. And the photo had a lot of white space, so I was able to do that. So I'm literally just gonna grab my cutting board, my handy dandy craft knife. I'm gonna cut and trim a little slit through my photo, and then I'm going to slide my tag through it. Now here's a little tip for you. When you create a slit like this and you want to add a tag, I recommend to trim out a small piece of cardstock and add that to the bottom of your tag where you want the tag to stop. Because if you don't, your tag is literally going to slide all the way through your photo, if that makes sense. So I like to just use some cardstock. It's thick enough. I just stick it where I want the tag to stop. And that way, when I stick down my photo, add my tag is not going to go all the way through to the bottom of my layout, if that makes sense. So I want to finish up the spread by adding my number sticker from Feed Your Craft to my spread. And I will also just grab a little puffy sticker and add that as well. Then I can move on to the opposite page. So the opposite page was totally scrap lifted from my friend Elise over on Instagram. She created this beautiful page with fall words and different ink colors. It was just so beautiful. I decided that I want to do that in my October daily, but all I'm doing, or the difference is I'm just using Halloween words. So I start with this beautiful papaya from Close to My Heart. I think this one, the candy, I stamped it with the saffron. I just go back and forth from different colors just to kind of scrap lift that spread from Elise. It was just so gorgeous. And by the way, I will add her Instagram account down in the description box for you if you want more inspiration. But anyways, I had a little boo-boo while stamping. I started stamping October and I misspelt it. This happens to me all the time. I always misspell things. It's just human nature, but I'm going to fix it because I'm totally not going to stamp this out again. And it's just not in my nature to redo a page if I don't have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through my notebooks, my storyline chapters notebooks, and just cut out a page. I have plenty of those notebooks. I'm fine with that. And that way the paper matches. So I will trim it down to fit over the October, and that way I can restamp October and fix my little boo-boo. Again, don't overthink it. It's not a big deal. We all, have mistakes and do mistakes, and we can just try to figure out a way to fix it. And you can barely see that I covered that up. Now that I covered up my boo-boo, I can add some embellishing to my layout. I'm going to start with the Spellbound stamp set from Feed Your Craft and stamp the little cat in black. I always recommend when you have a colorful spread, you need to balance it out a little bit with some black ink. It's my go-to. So I'm going to use black ink for my stamping, but I'll also bring in more color using my embellishments. So it just kind of balances everything out. And the more colors you add, the more black ink you need to add in. So anyways, I end up using Future Crafts die cut pack. I will also grab a Studio Calico stamp set. It's one of my favorites. It's a Halloweenish stamp set. And I'm going to stamp Pumpkin Spice and Scary Nights right above my stamping, and some black bats as well. And I truly love how this spread turned out. It's so cute, so fun. I'm definitely gonna do this again throughout my project. So I'm almost done with my spread, but I decided to find something to add underneath my tag to ground it. And I found this die cut that said, check this out. And I thought this was perfect to ground my tag. And now I can call day 4 done and move on to day 5. Now for day 5, I'm documenting something orange. And this little pumpkin that I grabbed from Target is so adorable. So I'm going to document it. And I want to balance out the orange. I'm not a big fan of orange. So I thought I would go with the skeleton paper from the Paper Person shop. I trimmed it down to fit one side of my spread. That way, when I create my cluster for this layout, I had envisioned that I would do a cluster, that it would kind of balance out a little bit with all the orange that I'm going to end up adding. I also remembered that I had these acetate 3x4 frames from Studio Calico. I thought this was a good time to use some of them. So I'm going to go with this orange one and back up my photo with it. The one thing that I didn't like is when I backed up my photo with the frame, it just, I don't know, it didn't sit right with me. I felt like it needed a white background. So what I decided to do is trim down my photo, then stick it down on some white paper. That way, when I add the frame, it has a white background and then the photo sits in the center. It just looked better to me, so I go for it. To some people, that doesn't matter, but to me, it was just bothering me. Anyways, I wanted to create a cluster and I wanted to use my stash. So I decided to use my older Hey Pumpkin collection from last year just to use up more of that collection. So I'm just going with this. I'm adding puffy stickers. I'm adding some die cuts, all the things to create this little cluster around my photo. I will change my mind a quadrillion times. And I say this all the time, that's okay, because you still want to have that enjoyment of creating. If you plan out every single spread in your project, you take away that enjoyment. Just have fun. If it turns out good, we're good to go. If it doesn't, no big deal. You can always change your mind. And believe me, I change my mind plenty because I find die cuts, like at this moment, I found some fun die cuts and I thought that ink would break down the black background. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to remove those stickers. I'm going to add that ink to the side of my frame and then, bring back more of those stickers that I took off. So you can definitely change your mind. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Just have fun. This project is so fun to work in, especially if you're not planning it out section by section. You still want to enjoy creating and documenting your October. I am almost done with day 5. I just want to add a little bit more embellishing, clustering. I will also grab my number stickers from Future Craft and add that to the bottom. This photo, or this does not have a major story, so I thought the best way to add my journaling is using a label sticker. So I'm going to grab my label stickers, add a little label, add my journaling, and call day 5 done. Okay, you guys, let's move on to day 6. So prompt number 6 was something spooky, and I decided to document this adorable and spooky photo of Stitch. He's always walking around with this ball in his mouth, and he just pops up out of nowhere wanting you to throw it to him, and he literally goes between your legs and your arms and everything. So I wanted to document that for day 6. I also love that boo sticker from Close to My Heart. So I wanted to use it, but I didn't want to stick it directly on my photo. So what I decided to do was grab some acetate, create a little fold, and tuck it behind my photo, And that way I add a fun interactive element to my spread. And also I can stick my large sticker directly on the acetate and not on my photo. So this is a great way if you have larger stickers and you don't want to stick it directly on your photo, and also adding that interactive element to your project. So I started sticking down my boo sticker and it didn't fit the way I wanted it to. So I had to move one of those O's and it actually came off really easily. I was really worried that it's going to tear or stick to my acetate, but it came off easily. And I was able to move my O so I can fit everything in nicely. And then I call my layout done. I'm not going to be adding any journaling. I didn't feel like there was a major story behind it. So I'm going to call day 6 done. I am really enjoying my October daily. I hope you guys have been too. But before I wrap this up, I did want to add a little shout out to my wonderful peaches. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate every single one. But that's about it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.